Sample read The Girl from Moscow. Ella sat across from her grandmother in her kitchen, facing the window. The grey sky hung low, pierced by TV antennas from the neighboring apartment blocks. The taste of freshly baked strudel, straight from her childhood, unnerved her, and her new-found certitude wavered under Olga's loving gaze. She wasn't sure her grandmother would approve of an abortion. "Is there something wrong, Elechka? You don't like the strudel?" Olga's eyes were the same chocolate brown as her own. "I'm in trouble, Baba," Ella blurted, though she would planned to start with Roman's offer, however indirect, to follow him to America. Olga propped her chin on her fist. Her polished nails gleamed. Somehow she always managed to appear well-groomed, even at home, baking. "What did Roman say?" She took Ella's hand. "You told him you were pregnant, didn't you?" Ella nodded. "He wants to immigrate on a family reunion visa, or whatever it's called now." Olga squeezed her fingers. "Do you love him?" That was a question Ella hadn't asked herself, possibly because she didn't know the answer. "I think I do." She poked her fork at the strudel. Behind the glass door that separated the kitchen from the corridor, her grandfather Natan shuffled towards the bathroom. "Is Dedushka feeling better?" Olga shrugged and got up. When Ella had arrived, Natan had retreated from the kitchen in haste, leaving his ladies to their secrets, as he would put it. Her grandfather was approaching 86, but in the 2 weeks since she last saw him, he would grown older, turning into a withered child. She suddenly became frightened. If something happened to Natan, she wasn't sure how Olga would cope. She couldn't imagine her grandparents living without each other. "Have you always loved my grandfather?" Although they would had their tea already, Olga put the kettle on the stove again. She wore her fire-red house dress, and her back looked unexpectedly stooped. "I'll tell you a secret. Your heart has to make a decision, not your mind." Ella grimaced. It was easy to say, but her heart seemed ill-equipped to make this decision. 1 minute it screamed, "I want to perform," and another it cried out, "Don't kill the baby." What then should she do? Olga sat back down. Her forehead wrinkled. Ella imagined her grandmother as a young woman. She looked beautiful even now with her crown of silver hair that used to be curly and wild, chestnut like her own. She wished she could just enjoy Olga's company and her baking, but she needed her wisdom. "Have you ever had an abortion, Baba?" Ella asked as the kettle started to whistle. Shame prickled the back of her neck, but she stared at her grandmother, expecting to be either told off or told the truth. Olga didn't respond. She looked away as if she wanted to say something, but couldn't bear to do it. Her grandparents never talked about the repression, and who knows what happened during the war years. Ella had never asked questions. She got up to take the kettle off the boil and filled the empty tea glass that sat in front of Olga on the table. She was about to speak when Olga stood abruptly and turned on the tap. Over the running water, Ella could hear the quiet murmur of Nathan's radio in the living room.